Hello everybody, Chris here, U-Joint Off-Road. Here's a little taste of the before. This rig got shipped to us from California. Has a coil radius arm setup on it. A bunch of ugly parts that we're gonna swap out. Not as bad of the bump steer as the last one we did, but just look at it. It does have bump steer, it does wander all over the road, just like most of your coil radius arm setups. So, big giant drop track bar mount. Just a lot of little things. Terrible ABS. Look at these cooler lines about to touch the diff. ABS lines look like garbage. Steps are pretty bad. I think we might be leaving those. Tire carrier. Real crappy work here. What else? I'm sure we're gonna find more. Single blocks, not stacked. That's good. That's a plus. So yeah, about to rack this thing and rip it apart and make it mo better. So stay tuned for the after. All right, and here's the after. Turned out really nice. Big change on this rig. So I want to emphasize, like I've said in the past, when we do these fix-it jobs, our goal isn't to trash another builder or competition. Our goal is mainly to educate, to keep people from making costly mistakes. It happens. I get emails every single week, sometimes multiple, of guys that cut some corners, went with a builder that was a little cheaper, or they drank some of the coil radius arm Kool-Aid and got convinced that that was the way to go. And then I get the emails. This thing drives terrible, it's all over the road, I've got bump steer, I've got death wobble, I don't like driving it, etc., etc. Now, some people make that mistake and then can afford to fix it, like this guy. Some people can't, so they'd sell the van or they just deal with it. Hopefully, nobody gets in an accident, or they sell it and pass it to the next guy, and then it's his problem. The last one we did, was a van that got that exact thing happened. It got built at one shop, got sent to another shop to get fixed. They didn't fix it. The guy sold it. New guy became his problem. It sucks. It sucks for the whole four-wheel drive van community, in my opinion, because it just gives everybody a bad taste. So there's my rant. We found a lot of sketchy things on this. If you follow us on social media, I highlighted all of them at the time. But as a quick rundown, the rear wheel spacers were not installed properly. One of the wheel studs was going to snap off soon and lose a wheel. The transmission cross member was looked like a fifth grader made it with a cut-off wheel and a torch. And I'm going to put pictures of all of this stuff as soon as I get done talking about it in this video. The engine cross member was cut terribly, but the biggest problem I had is stuff that you can't see. So if you get under a van and you look and you see the radius arm mounts attached to the frame, all of those holes were cut with a torch. That is not how you do it. When you're mounting a major suspension component, you can't have a bolt going through a torched hole that it's not round. It's not doing its job. I've seen that before on the Javier Crows conversions, and now we've seen it here on these on a couple of these AJ conversions. So big no-no in my opinion. I hope they don't continue to do that, but it looks like they probably will. We took off, so let me cut right now to the photos of some of the things we found. So here's some photos. So we got rid of the existing front bumper. It was kind of ugly, and it had this bed liner coating on it. That stuff looks good when it's new, but over time it looks terrible. You can see the finish. You can see the metal through it. Some rust on this roof rack. This roof rack does make a bunch of noise too. We left it alone. I think the customer plans on, I think he's gonna do a high top on this thing. So we left that alone. We did swap out the front bumper for our FB002 front bumper. Loaded up with some Baja Design lights. No winch, something he can add later. We tried to keep the budget somewhat restrained on this thing. So up front, we've got a stage 2 front axle with the hub conversion and brake upgrade. This is actually the first prototype of our new front axles. So it was cool. This van was on the lift, ready for us to mock up and test fit stuff. So that worked out well for the customer. You got our first brand new axle housing. We wound up changing the perches, and we shimmed this one to get the caster a little better. But we changed the perches on the new axle. If you watch our new axle video, you'll see it has billet perches, where this one has some bent steel perches. They were just a little too tall to clear the spring pack for our crossover steering. So this one also got a 1-inch steering block under the steering arm to get the drag link where we wanted it and give plenty of clearance to the leaf spring. So super nice, beefy axle that he got hooked up on. We kept the stock, or the existing wheels and tires. The back spacing was correct on these methods, and there was nothing wrong with the Toyos, so we reused those. Swapped out the grill for a black grill. Added an S-Pod up there. And OBA. There's the OBA tank and the compressor. 271 T-case. Custom spec springs front and rear from our boys at Alcan, Fox Shocks. Clean up the frame, and then we swapped out that janky Illuminesc copy tire carrier for our full rear bumper. Now you can see I can move the tire and nothing makes a bunch of noise. They really hacked the door up. They actually welded the tire carrier to the door hinge, which is super hacky. So that's it. Drives way better. It's gonna be more reliable. And now he knows what he's got. So again, thanks for watching. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook if you don't already. We appreciate all the support. We still appreciate people sending us rigs from across the country for us to fix. And I'm sure there will be more. Have a great day.